To the men in relationships where you keep cycling the same problems and arguments, and it's just like this toxic, vicious cycle, and you get really irritated with your wife for nagging or your partner for nagging, or just never, like, we've fixed this problem. Why aren't we doing the fix? And, you just get really irritated with her and you're just sick of the cycle. Can I give you some context? Chances are she doesn't want you to fix her problems, or more so that you're not actually solving for the correct problem, which is why it keeps cycling, because you're not actually solving for the right problem. Let me give you an example of what happened with me this week. I have some amazing men in my life that are fellow creators on this platform and doing a lot of this self-awareness work and this, internal world work, the inner work, healing work. They're amazing men. Shout out to you guys if you're watching this. So over the last 2 weeks, content on my page has been popping off, okay? And it has resulted in over 200 DMs of men who resonate with it. And they are looking to get support. And I have a program called Healthy Mentality where I help men with a lot of this stuff and teach this specific stuff. Exactly. And so it was a little overwhelming. Now I have a team that kind of helps me sort through some of it, but it is a lot of heavy lifting on my end. And so I was feeling overwhelmed with it in like the best possible way, but also really wanted to connect with people who would get and understand what it's like to be a content creator. And when you have an influx of demand and like, yeah, you're trying, you're getting there, but it's overwhelming. And so I reached out to 4 of these guys who would understand what this is like. And my intention behind it was, wow, I've had an overwhelming amount of demand, like things are going really well. And also like, this is really stressful and feels chaotic. I didn't ask a question in there. I didn't ask for help. I reached out to share both a win and a struggle I was having. Now, my intention behind that was connection, like almost commiseration or somebody to understand what I'm going through and to also help me maybe process out if there was a problem I needed to solve for or not. It just feels like a lot and it's overwhelming, but I wasn't quite sure if I needed a solution or if I should just sit in like the amazingness of it. And yeah, it's going to be busy for a little bit. And that's great. And also stressful. Fascinating thing is 3 out of the 4 of them that teach this stuff went immediately into problem solving mode, giving me unsolicited advice about stuff that was not even wildly remotely next to or near or in the vicinity of what I actually was needing support with or guidance of, right? Because I hadn't quite determined that. One went on a rant about his conspiracy theories with AI, which was fascinating because that wasn't even remotely mentioned in what I was trying to struggle with, other than I used ChatGPT to talk to it and like think through it. And ChatGPT can be great for solving problems. But he went on a whole conspiracy theory about AI and like what he's learning about AI and warning me about it. I was like, bro, I'm not asking you to solve for an AI problem or what the world is doing with AI. Okay, but we can talk about what you want to talk about, right? Like that's where my brain went of, oh, I guess we're not talking about my stuff. We'll talk about what you want to talk about. No offense to him, but I just shut down after that. I was like, okay, this is not where I'm going to get my support. Okay. The other guy started talking about his content and what's working and not working with his. Nothing necessarily wrong with that, but didn't even really acknowledge what I had brought up as a form of connection. But okay, we'll go and talk about your stuff and where you're struggling. So now all of a sudden the focus is again not on me. We're gonna focus on what problems you have. Okay. And the other guy, really smart, like super like in line with where my business is heading to. We have very similar businesses. Started listing out processes of what I should do to solve for the influx, which we already have processes in place. I'm already working those processes. And quite frankly, they were 10 steps ahead of where his was. And so it puts me in a pickle because I didn't actually get the support, the connection that I wanted. Maybe I could have done a better job of asking for that up front, although I just wanted to initiate a conversation and they jumped right into problem solving. And now all of a sudden I kind of had this thought of, well, how do I respond to what they're saying? Because I don't want to invalidate them, but also this wasn't about them. They weren't reaching out to me to discuss whatever it is they're discussing. We're just now discussing it. And I'm still left feeling the overwhelm that I had originally and wanting to celebrate this, but also wanting to navigate the overwhelm. But now we're focused on other things. Do you see where that's what's a woman supposed to do in that? Because I don't want them to not think that they're input isn't valuable, but also it isn't valuable for what I'm seeking in this moment. And I don't think their egos are so fragile that I could say that and be like, hey, bro, didn't ask for you to solve that problem, but thanks for the input. And that's a boundary that I need to set. And I will go do that. And maybe this is my passive aggressive way of doing that. Hey, boys, I didn't ask you to solve for whatever problem you created. Can we talk about me? The one guy out of the 4 that I have a long history with of him doing this, so like was awesome, was like, fix advice, listen. That is what I teach in my program based off of his response, because it helps inform him. He doesn't have to guess at what I'm needing or wanting. He's like, okay, do you want me to fix it? Do you want advice, or do you want me to listen? And 99.99% of the time, women just want you to listen. They want you to just witness their experience that their own internal world is sharing with them. And most men really struggle with just sitting and being present, because you have been conditioned to believe that your worth and your value is how much you can fix and solve things and protect and provide. Yet what women want is your presence, but you struggle to be present because we don't actually need you to fix the problem. You want to fix the problem so that her emotions go away, because you're uncomfortable with her emotions, because you don't know how to process your own emotions. So you think when her emotions come up, it's a problem to solve for. It's not. That's how you handle your emotions, which is also not effective at actually solving the problem. Can't solve an emotional problem with logic. So the more that you learn how to tolerate your own emotions and even process and experience what it's like, then you stop internalizing her emotions as something that needs to be solved for, and you're able to sit and process through it with her, right? Oftentimes, and I'll give you some context for women, we have these things called hormones. You have them too. They're just different, and they cycle every 24 hours. Ours cycle every 30 days. So at any given moment, it's really hard for a woman when she wakes up in the morning and she's feeling an internal feeling to know why she's feeling that. Is it situational? Is it work stress? Is it my partner, this person that's sleeping in the bed next to me? Am I burned out? Is it my hormones? It's really hard to know why we feel what we feel, because our hormones will shift. And it's not like we get a sign, I mean, other than a period starting, but it's not like we know, like, oh, you're in the luteal phase now, and oh, you have so much energy this week. Is it because you ate better? Is it because you worked out? Is it because it's that time of the month? It's really hard. And maybe women should just track their cycles better, but some of us have birth control that affects that, right? And so we oftentimes, because we can't tell what the actual thread is in our head, verbally processing it, especially with somebody that we're close to, because men are really a mirror for our own, even our own cycle. Like I remember with my ex-husband, I could tell when I was starting to PMS, I was like, oh, I don't like you this week. That's not a you thing. That's a me thing. Okay. Well, now I have some context for why I am the way that I am this week, or why I feel what I feel. But without that being able to process it, then we're just kind of living in whatever our body is telling us that we're experiencing, which a lot of times with hormones makes you feel like it's truth, right? As opposed to it's just my body processing out hormones, or maybe there is a real threat. There is a real situational threat, or, an emotional threat. But without us being able to verbally process that out, we can't actually identify what the true problem is. So when you go into fix it mode and undercut that process, well, then you're going to continue to be the thing that we fight against, because you're not actually allowing us to get to the root of the problem. So your job for your partner to support her can be just asking her better questions than she's asking herself. Ask her what she wanted to have happen if she's upset about something. Ask her how she feels about it. Ask her how it impacted her. That will help her process out her emotions and the situation to actually know what next to problem solve for. But she probably doesn't need you to fix it or solve for it. Most women are capable of doing that themselves when they're in a safe space to be able to process that out. So when there's this concept of being a safe space for a woman, that's essentially what you do. You stop trying to jump to fixing it and saying you're broken, you're wrong, you're hormonal, you're crazy, right? Let her process it out with you, and you will find that you have an irreplaceable value in her life, because that's something that she's going to struggle to do on her own. So hope that was helpful. And hey, my name's Tara, and I'm on a mission to create a self-aware army, because it's lonely in these self-aware streets.